But I just finished doing our hitter that has the most different motions in his swing, and we go from there to one of the least extraneous motion guys. All right, looking good on the feet. Good alignment there. His knee and thigh are in a position to where he can drive onto his front leg. I like it. He's just starting to come forward. Yeah, he did move his foot a little bit, but he's still not in too bad a shape. He's got a little bit of the nearly getting outside of his back foot thing that's been so common with the other boys. Again, if you haven't watched the others, what I'm talking about is we'd like to see this ankle and knee more like that, so that we're providing a good firm wall back here to get this push off with. As it is, if you get too far over it, like he is doing, you're kind of standing up on it, and you're not really pushing off a wall. You have more of a tendency to fall off of it, which gives us an undesirable result out front. Now he does a better job than most of the boys about a much better job about he didn't just fall onto his front foot. See, he's got his toe down. He's quite extended here. That's arms way back and straight fairly early in the swing, but he seems to get away. I mean, the downside is that gives you a long swing, but for 2 years I've said he can't do that, and he keeps proving me wrong. So he's got everything back here. This leg's in a good position to fire. He's got nothing on this front leg, so he's got all kinds of opportunity to adjust timing here. Heel goes down, and see, he doesn't start forward until his heel goes down. He doesn't fall on it. It's heel down when he wants to start going. Now he's hit the jets. He's transferring power. Okay, here's one thing I did want to point out. Like I was saying earlier, I'm really liking what Michael's doing with his lower body. There is one issue, upper body, that I think we need to start working on. And honestly, I think this explains he had a little more trouble with the faster pitchers last year. A little trouble timing them. When he did hit them, it wasn't until he had seen several fastballs and he got one timed. I think his swing is a little long for him to catch up with the faster guys because he folds his back elbow up under his front one and drags his bat through rather than keeping his arms in more of a triangle connected to his body with a little quicker, shorter swing. I think letting that elbow get under lengthens his swing quite a bit. I've pulled him and Joey up at the point essentially where their front arm is basically horizontal, so they're both firing their hips and they're on their way here. If I advance Michael a few frames, he's not. We've got some guys that do it more dramatically than he does, but look right there, right in there, how far his back elbow, in his case his left elbow, is ahead of his hands, right there. Now if I move Joey forward one or two, see, watch his hands in relation to his back elbow, and they never get way back behind his elbow like they do on Michael. These two were shot at different speeds, so it looks different, but essentially it makes for a much shorter the path that Joey's barrel takes to the ball. Look how short it is because his hands stay inside his elbow or in front of his elbow. They don't get back behind it, and his bat doesn't really flatten out into the plane of the ball until it gets down near the hitting zone. With Michael, see, it's flattened out way back there, and the barrel of his bat takes a much longer path to the ball. Okay, so I guess I'm still recording. If you look at, I've put a point on their bats. At various points in their swing. Basically, I just had them swing and advance it a few frames and put a dot, and advance it a few frames and put a dot. But if you look at how far Michael's bat is back behind him, how long of a loop he's got back here compared to how short Joey's loop is. And again, the key to that is Michael is letting that back elbow fold under so that the barrel of the bat gets way behind that elbow, which is kind of, that's where the link in the chain where his force gets out from under the bat, if you will, or gets. See, Joey back elbow he does not let his hands. He doesn't invert that back elbow and let his hands get behind and let the bat drag behind. Results in a much shorter swing. And I think that is going to, if we can help Michael with that, that'll shorten up the upper body part of his swing. And as good as he's looking on the lower body part, I think it'll just be fantastic.